hallway erupted with whispers the moment Maya stepped into school that Monday. Her backpack hung loosely from her shoulder, but it didn't matter. Every eye in the corridor seemed to zero in on her, like a spotlight had been switched on just to expose her. She held her head high, even though her stomach twisted in knots. You're... A girl started, then stopped, her voice cracking. Maya ignored her. Every step felt like walking on glass, but she had learned to survive on glass. The whispers followed her all the way to her locker, where she clenched her hands around the metal handle until her knuckles turned white. "Did you hear?" Another voice hissed. "She's pregnant." Maya's chest tightened, and for a split second, she wanted to turn and shout at everyone, demand that they shut up, but she swallowed the words. She couldn't fight the world. Not yet. "Hey, Maya." A calm voice cut through the noise. It was her friend, Lila. Don't let them see you break. Just ignore them." Maya forced a nod, but inside it was chaos. How could she ignore it? The secret wasn't hers anymore. The entire school knew, or at least everyone thought they knew. And nobody had asked the important question. Nobody had asked who did it. By the time she reached the principal's office, her heart was pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears. Mr. Thompson didn't even look up from his papers. "Maya," he said flatly, "we need to discuss something serious." She swallowed, forcing calm into her voice. "I know. You've been expelled," he said, without preamble, effective immediately. The words didn't land the way she expected. Part of her had braced for it, but part of her had hoped, foolishly, that they would listen, that they would ask questions, that they would see she was just a kid. "Expelled?" Maya whispered. Her voice barely carried, but the weight of it crushed her. "Yes, the school cannot condone this behavior," Mr. Thompson said, tapping his pen on the desk like it was the final verdict in some courtroom drama. "You're welcome to collect your belongings and leave. Your parents will be informed." Maya's stomach dropped. She felt the room tilt, her knees weak. The office felt like it was spinning around her, and she had to grab the edge of the desk to stay upright. She started, but no words came out. How could she explain that she wasn't behaving badly? That she hadn't done this to herself? That someone else, someone who should be accountable, was the reason her life was about to crumble? The principal didn't ask. He didn't need to. In this world, the victim always bore the blame. Her father's car was waiting outside, engine running, his face pale and tight with shock when she slid into the seat. "Maya," he said softly, "what happened?" They said I'm expelled." Her voice was barely audible. "Because I'm pregnant." Her father's hands gripped the steering wheel until his knuckles turned white. Silence followed, heavy and suffocating. "Do you know who—" He started, then stopped, eyes darting toward hers. He knew what she meant, the question hanging between them like smoke. But Maya only shook her head. She didn't have the courage to speak it aloud yet. The ride home was quiet, and every bump in the road felt like it rattled her fragile world. She hadn't cried yet, but she felt it building, a storm behind her eyes threatening to pour down. When they got home, her mother was waiting in the living room, arms crossed, jaw tight. "Is this true?" she demanded. "Yes," Maya said. Her voice cracked, but she held it together. What were you thinking?" her mother hissed. "Do you realize what this does to the family?" Maya felt her stomach churn. She wanted to scream, to throw herself on the ground, but she stayed still. I didn't do anything wrong," she said quietly. "You didn't do anything wrong?" Her mother's eyes flared. "Being pregnant before school ends is a huge mistake. You've shamed us all." It was exactly what she feared. Blame. Shame. Silence about the real truth. Nobody asked who did this to her. Nobody cared. Later that night, lying in her bed staring at the ceiling, Maya finally let herself cry. The tears came in heavy, hot streams, a release she had held back all day. She hugged her pillow tight, wishing she could go back in time, wishing she could undo what had happened, wishing someone would see her for the innocent girl she still was, not the scandal the school had made her into. Her phone buzzed. A message from Lila. "I'm here for you, always." Maya typed back, words trembling. I don't know if I can do this alone. And then another message came, one that made her heart sink and rise all at once. I know who did it. Meet me tomorrow. Don't tell anyone. Maya stared at the screen. Could it be true? Could she finally find the answer to the question that had haunted her every waking moment? The question nobody else cared to ask. Who did this to me? Her resolve hardened. She wiped her tears. She would find out. She had to. The next morning, Maya woke up with a mixture of fear and determination. She dressed quickly, avoiding the mirror because she didn't want to see the girl the world had turned into a rumor about. She met Lila behind the corner shop, away from prying eyes. I told you, Lila said, glancing around nervously. You can't trust anyone else. But I know who did this. Maya's stomach lurched. Who? Lila's eyes flicked down the street, then back to Maya. It's someone nobody would ever suspect. Someone with power. Maya's heart raced. Power. That explained the silence, the fear, the way everyone had avoided even asking the question. Are you serious? Maya asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Yes, Lila said, gripping her hand. I swear, but you have to promise me. You can't tell anyone yet. Not your parents, not the school, not until we figure out how to handle this. Maya nodded, determination sparking through her fear. I promise. But we need to make them pay. We need justice. Step by step, Lila said. We can't rush. They're dangerous if exposed too early. For the first time since Monday, Maya felt a flicker of hope. She wasn't alone. And maybe, just maybe, she could reclaim her life. As she walked home that day, she passed by the school again. Students whispered as she went by, pointing, laughing, judging. Maya ignored them. She wasn't the same girl they thought she was. She was someone stronger, someone ready to fight for the truth that nobody else wanted to see. Her phone buzzed again. Another message from Lila. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. You won't believe what's coming next. Maya smiled bitterly at the CTA, but also felt a surge of adrenaline. This story wasn't over. It was just beginning. And deep down, she knew one thing for certain. Nobody had asked who did this, but they would have to.